Hi there. I apologize you have to watch this on the screen, that I'm not there tonight, but and also I'm going to miss a lot of your presentations, unfortunately. But I wanted to go ahead and share with you the Fernald method specifically for learning sight words. Fernald method does apply to learning spelling and other areas, but this is specifically about sight words. This method is a systematic, multisensory instructional approach that incorporates use of visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and tactile modalities simultaneously. That is a lot like the Wilson program, I think, which is much more extensive. This is a very specific method, but using all the different modalities, this reinforces having a mental image of the word. So it's a good choice for sight words that have exceptional spellings. We have a long list of sight words, but I would want to think specifically about words that cannot be decoded easily with the skills the child has for decoding. So you're getting that mental image of the word in their head. This method should be done with individuals or small groups. It is not a whole group instructional method. It's nice and short, which makes it effective for that. It should be used with students who are struggling with holding the sight words into memory. You'll see the stages of the method lead up to being able to do that, but this is for students who struggle with being able to do that without some specific instruction. Students must possess fine motor skills for copying and writing letters in order to do that, and you'll see that that is part of the process. So the steps. First, the student selects the word, and by having them make that selection, it's improving their motivation, which is something that is the case for a lot of different things. Teacher writes a word with a crayon or a marker while saying it, and then she says it again while sweeping her finger beneath the word. I've read different things, but it's been suggested that you use a 4x11 sheet of paper. So that's basically like a white piece of copy paper cut in half horizontally. You want to keep that consistent. You'll be filing these words. So the teacher models, after they've wrote it while saying it, the teacher models tracing with their finger while saying it, articulating with a natural speech, not breaking apart the sounds. Again, with a sight word, that's not necessarily something you can do. You're not teaching decoding. So you want to try to have a natural speech and then say it again while sweeping your finger underneath the word, which again reminds me of Wilson if you're familiar with that. You're going to repeat step 3 times. And then the child traces the word with their finger while the teacher says the word. Whenever they make an error, you correct that by saying, "Watch me do it again," and modeling again. And you repeat until the child thinks that he can write the word from memory. You'll see in the little demonstration I did that the young lady I was working with, I did not say it when she traced it the first time. She was really ready to jump in, and I did miss that step, and you'll note that. But then you're going to remove the word, and the child will write it from memory, saying the word, just like you did. If they're not correct, you're going to go back up and repeat the steps. A mastered word is a word that's been written 3 times correctly, and you file those together. The child has access to that file. Within that same day, you want to type that new word and have the child read it in a typed font. This method points out the difference between writing and seeing the formation of the letters and a typed font. So I'm going to show you the demonstration I did with one of my students. I apologize, it looks kind of upside down. My parapro filmed it for me, and I wasn't aware that's going to turn out, but I think you'll be fine with it. You can see already on the table there, I gave her 3 words, that none of which she actually did have just by me showing her those cards, which are on the table right there in front of you. So I let her choose which one she wanted to work on, and you'll see that she was set on which one was hardest. So go ahead and watch. Oops, sorry. Go ahead and watch the film with me.
All right, Anaya, we have 3 sight words that you're working on. I'm going to let you choose which one you want to do. There, where, or away. Which word do you want to focus on today?
Away.
Away. Okay, good job.
Hardest one in the world.
You think that's the hardest one? Well, then let's do it. We're going to do the word away. And I'm going to put that back there with our stuff, okay? I want you to watch me, and then I'll tell you what you're going to do. I'm going to write the word away. Away. I'm going to trace the word now, and I want you to listen and just watch me. down. Away. Away. Can you try to trace now?
I'll do it.
And say it while you trace it. The word. Say it again.
Away.
Away. Try it again. When you think you know it in your head, let me know.
Away.
Nice job. Do you want to try it again, or do you think you can write it? Okay, but I'm going to hide it from you. Okay, try to write it while you say it. Nice work. What does it say?
Away.
Nice
It
job.
looks like a 4.
Yeah, I'm going to have you practice it 2 more times, and then we'll file it, and later you can type it. Sound good? Give me
I'm
5.
gonna type it.
All right, nice job.
And then I'll type it.
Okay, so you can see I need to work with her a little bit on some of those letter formations, but if she's going to write it several more times, that's going to give us a chance to work on that too. And that she was excited about having it typed, and most of my students get pretty excited about that. So once we've gotten to that stage, one of the things we're asked to present is the effectiveness of whether this is helping a student to learn. Any way you take sight word data will work, obviously, for this, and that's usually just from a teacher assessment. If you want to know if this is working better than other methods, you're going to need to have a baseline of how the rate of their learning sight words without it and then with it. I don't know that that would be necessary for you, but it's however you evaluate your sight words, those cards I had on the table, that's how I evaluate mine when I'm taking the data, and then of course you're looking for it in their natural reading. So the further stages after learning the sight words involved stage 2, where you're no longer tracing the words, but they're learning just by looking at it and saying it. So you're cutting down those steps, making less scaffolding. Stage 3, the student learns directly from a printed word, like those I had on the table initially, without having it written, without having to see the letters being formed. And then stage 4 is when the student can recognize words in print and notice similarities in known and unknown words. So they're starting to process that understanding of those words. And there's a lot more about those stages in our textbook, actually, has an explanation of all those stages and goes into how this method is used for spelling as well. It's not just a sight word method. So I just have, for resources for you, this is pretty clear. So our textbook explains this very clearly. And I also found a website that broke those steps down very well that I based planning this presentation on. So hopefully this will be helpful to you. I'm planning to use it more in my classroom and expect to see some results. So thanks for listening.